I will show you about fact word. Wait, one file.
Okay, hold on. Can you remove this file and then load the data set that works? You have a data set that works, right?
Yeah, I will show you about fact word. The template of fact word. When I load the data, you can you can see the parameter.
Yeah, this one works. This layout works, right? With facts your verse.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I insert another patient about fact word, the parameter fixed. No problem about fact word.
Right. It's your LSR layout that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the parameter.
Okay. So click on that first dot plot there. That's forward versus side scatter, right there in the middle top row.
Right.
Just click on the plot. Yep, there we go. And then go up to view under the data tab, do view header. Yeah. Okay. So there's 1, 2. Okay. So you can see right here, there's 6 parameters, right? So forward scatter, area, width, height, and then side scatter, area, width, height, and then kappa lambda, right? So kappa is the 7th parameter in this layout. Okay. So let's close this one. Let's go back to your LSR layout because that's the one that's causing problems.
Back to LSR template, no?
Yep. Okay. And then go ahead and load your LSR data. And is this the data files you're sending me? What you're showing me? Is that what you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now let's go to that same dot plot that we did in the other layout. Click on it, the one that says side scatter versus CD20.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so you only have 4 parameters up here. Remember, so in the facts verse one, you had 6 parameters.
Yeah.
So I think all of your parameters are shifted in this data. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So do you have another data set that does work with this layout? Because the layout that you sent me and the data files that you sent me, it works fine.
But I will show you about the data when I save from the machine.
Okay.
I think it's the same.
Well, so I mean, this looks correct because it looks like they match, right? Because you've got area, width, height for forward scatter and side scatter. Yeah. And area, width, height for.
I think with I think the machine I save the data from the machine same the fact word.
And sometimes different instruments will just write the files differently.
I'm not sure.
Hold on. I'm going to load it on my computer.
Okay. I will show you where I create new layout for you. Okay. I think you can get it. When I create the data when I create a template of LSR, no, I create insert the data to the template. One color dots.
Yeah, so so if you look at your parameters, you've got more parameters there. Remember we counted 4 and then you had 6 there.
Right. Yeah. Wrong parameter. FCS ป่ะจำไม่ได้ขิงจำได้ป่ะ FSC หรือเปล่าหรือเลยนะไม่ใช่สิ FSC กับอะไรนะจำไม่ได้ทำไมนะ FSC หายป่ะ
Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so all right, so I'm going to open, this is the layout that you sent me, right? So there are your 3 files, 3 folders, and we have LSR. So here's the LSR template.
Yeah. My computer is slowly.
Right, okay, so here's your blank template.
Yeah.
Load your files. So I'm loading the files that were in that LSR2 folder. So this looks correct, right?
Yeah.
But it looked like what you were showing me on your screen, that it was a different layout than what you gave me. This layout that you gave me works perfect. So I'm wondering then, and I can unshare if you want to reshare again, but I'm wondering if you want, go ahead and open up that layout again that you showed me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, go back to your actual layout.
Again, please. Go back. Okay, I will show you 3 parameter. When I create template finish, no? When I analyze the data of patient, I will insert some patient into the template.
Okay.
Why the data cannot remove? Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back and undo what you just did so we can get back to the other file. Perfect. Okay, so click on one of your plots. And then go up to the data tab and choose view header.
The data tab.
Yeah, and then kind of over to the left a little bit and down. Yeah, left. Go left.
Left.
Nope. One more, go to the left. There's compensations, there's keywords anonymizer. The other direction. And one more, not that one. Go over one more. The other way. Keep going. There we go. Perfect. Click that. Okay. So in this data file, we have the 6 parameters at the top, right? Forward scatter, area, height, width, side scatter, area, height, width, and then kappa lambda 19. Okay. So go ahead and cancel. So now we know what that looks like. We have the 6 scatter parameters, and then kappa and lambda is 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So go ahead and cancel, and then load your patient data.
Another people, right?
Yep. Just cancel that. Delete that. Yep. Add your patient file. Now that one looks fine.
I need the data.
And if you click on, if you click on one of the plots again and go back up to view header, so you'll see the parameters are numbered the same way, right? The first 6 are scatter parameters, and then 7 and 8 are kappa and lambda. So this data file looks just like the old one, and that's why it populates correctly. So let's cancel that and go back to that other patient that you showed where it didn't work.
One more. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so let's click on that plot and go back up to view header again.
Okay.
Okay, now see the parameters? They're not as many as before. So now you only have 4 parameters, scatter parameters. And kappa and lambda are 5 and 6 instead of 7 and 8.
Oh, okay.
So your parameter numbers have to match every time. So I don't know if here when you exported it, you didn't export the width this time, or I'm not sure what happened with this data set. But as long as you fix when you fix your LSR2 template to accommodate the new files, once you fix it to accommodate the files with that number of parameters, then those data files always have to have the same number of parameters. Otherwise, it's not going to populate correctly. Does that make sense? Like you can't go within different data sets. Otherwise, it's going to look exactly like what you have.
But I cannot do that about LSR. Anyway, I don't know why the parameter is
my guess is it has something to do with the way you exported it from the instrument at the time you exported it. Because FCS Express is just reading the parameters that are in the file. So if they're not there, like in this case, this particular data file doesn't have the width parameters.
What should I do for the fixed parameter?
Well, so you have a couple options. You would either go back if you have this data, like for this particular data file, you could go back to the instrument and re-export it so that it exports the width parameters too, so that you have a new data set. You can always adjust the layout, but you're not going to want to adjust the layout all the time, right? Like every time, like you want to always export your data files with the same number of parameters every time going forward. And if you're not using the width parameter in your analysis, you don't have to export it. But once you decide you're not going to export it, you need to consistently not export it so that the template doesn't break. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because if you build your LSR to, so let's close this. Let's go back to your layout.
This
your
layout.
Your LSR layout, like the one that you're having trouble with.
Okay.
Okay. And so this data, now before we do anything, click on the plot in the middle, just like we did in the other layout. Oh, undo. Yeah. Okay. Now go up to view header, just like we did. So in this one, it works and you've got 5 scatter parameters, right? 2 forward scatter, 3 side scatter. So that's totally fine because this template works with those parameters. So no problem. So go ahead and hit cancel. And then load a patient that doesn't work. So go to your data list. Yep, delete these guys.
I will show you.
Okay, perfect. So let's click on the plot like we did before and go up to view header again. Right? Okay, so see, now you have 6 parameters up here instead of the 5. And that's why all your parameters are off on your plots. You've inserted this extra parameter. This layout right now is built to accommodate the 5 parameters.
I think. Okay. Sorry. Again, please.
Yeah. It's the same issue though, because this data set has 5 or 6 scatter parameters and it should only have 5 for this layout to work. That's the issue. So the question is your data going forward needs to consistently have the same number of parameters. And it doesn't matter how many they are. It can be the 6, like you could export the widths here, just like you did, or you can take them out if you're not using them. But whatever you decide to do, you have to do it consistently going forward.
What do you think about my problem about 6 parameter, right? 6 parameter are the same.
Say that again.
Do you think about my problem is the 6 parameter, right?
Yeah. So in this one, you're exporting all of them. And this layout is not built to accommodate that extra parameter. You have an extra parameter. Remember that other data set only had 5 scatter parameters. This one has 6. So in order to make this layout work, you'd have to change all the parameters in your plots. And you don't want to have to do that with every data set, right? So what you need to do is always export just the 5 that you had in that other data set.
But the data is the same the data 6 parameter same.
The problem is
the parameter cannot fit to?
Because it doesn't recognize the parameter by the name, it recognizes it by the number. So in this data file, for example, kappa is parameter 7.
Okay.
Right? Kappa is parameter 7. In your other data file that doesn't work, kappa was parameter 6.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because you have an extra parameter in here. When you load the data files, the dot plots are only pulling the parameter numbers. They're not pulling, and it's whatever that fluorochrome happens to be for that parameter number. So if you've inserted an extra parameter, or if you've taken one away, either way, you change the numbering of the parameters. You're essentially renumbering them. And that's why the data shows up wrong in your plots.
The template affix parameter is the same, right?
The number of parameters is not the same. No.
Can you explain me again, please?
Okay, so let's cancel this. Go back to the one that works so we can look at it again. Okay, so on this plot, we have side scatter versus forward scatter. Go to view header. Okay.
Okay, view header.
Okay, so look at the parameter numbers. In this data file, side scatter is parameter 3.
Okay.
And forward scatter is parameter 1. Right? Okay. So if we go ahead and cancel, if we move down on this plot, see where it says side scatter. Close that.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. See where it says side scatter versus forward scatter? What this plot is actually showing you is parameter 3 versus parameter 1. Which happened to be side scatter versus forward scatter, but it's really showing you parameter 3 versus parameter 1. Okay. So now let's remove this data and bring up the old data that doesn't work. Okay, now go back up to the header. See, now we're looking at forward scatter area versus forward scatter width. But remember, that plot is parameter 3 versus parameter 1. And the parameters got shifted because you have an extra parameter here. So what you need to do, so what you need to do, what I would do is on your instrument, do not export forward scatter width.
Okay. I have the data no width.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do with the data you've already exported. All you can do is export going forward. Yep, see, this one works. And I bet if you go up to view header, it will have 5 scatter parameters.
The data is saved no
width.
width.
Actually, you know what? This is a perfect example too. So actually you only have 4 scatter parameters here. But notice that side scatter versus forward scatter is still correct. 3 versus 1. So that's why that first plot looks okay. But if you cancel this and go to a different plot with like markers in it.
Okay, I got. Okay, I think so.
Close that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
the template.
So this template doesn't work either. If you look down at your fluorochromes, they're all wrong too. And it's because on this data set, you only have 4 scatter parameters. So all the parameters, so it's like you're using different data sets, and the template can only accommodate one data set with a certain number of parameters. So you're not going to be able to use this layout to look at your old data sets that have different numbers of parameters. The only thing really that you can do is to start exporting your data consistently from the instrument so that you're always exporting the same parameters every single time.
And
this layout works. This layout works for 5 scatter parameters where you're not exporting. So like, for example, on this,
I'm confused about the machine or the program. Well, when I say the date,
bring your LSR settings back up.
Again, please. Sorry, Holly. Again, please.
Okay. Bring your LSR settings back up again.
The data, right?
No. Your screenshot from your LSR.
Oh, screenshot. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay. So see here where you're exporting width, area, height, width for forward scatter and side scatter.
Yeah.
I would turn off forward scatter width. And then re-export your data and see if it works.
You can suggest me when I save the incorrect no width, right?
Right. Well, it's got to have 5 scatter parameters. It's got to have area, forward scatter, area and height, and then side scatter, area, height, and width. Because that's the way your layout is built.
I mean, when I save the data, I do not anything about the machine. I save.
Okay. So then you need to fix your layout so that it accommodates all 6 of those parameters, and then use that going forward. All these data sets that we've been using have different numbers of parameters, and you can't fix them because they've already been exported. So it's something that you have to kind of fix going forward.
Every day I work with fact word, right? Compare LSR to LSR for Tesla. When I save the data, I do not check parameter.
Okay.
Nothing. It's the same. I think same fact word, same LSR.
I mean, it's fine. You can leave these set the way they are, but then you'll have to fix your layout to accommodate those six parameters, which is also fine because once you do it once, it should be fixed as long as you're always looking at data with those same number of parameters. I think the issue you're having is that you're trying to go back and look at old data that has different numbers of parameters. And you just can't. It's just not how the layouts work.
Okay, I get something.
Yeah, because these only have 4 parameters in them. Yep. Yeah, this layout is currently built for the 5 parameters. If the data you export off your instrument still has the 6 because you have the width parameters checked, that's fine, but then you need to fix the layout.
Okay, I think so.
See, that's why I would just turn off your forward scatter width because that's the parameter that's causing the problem. And then do that going forward, and your layout should work.
Okay. From now on, I cannot save width, right?
Say that again.
I cannot save width, right?
I would say going forward, you should not save forward scatter width. And I think as long as you do that, it will work.
Okay, I will try to do.
Okay.
I will try to do something you teach me. And I will tell you later.
Yeah, give it a try and see how it works, and then just let me know.
Okay.
So I think if you uncheck that width on your instrument and then export your data like that going forward, your layout will work.
Okay,
Just,
I will uncheck with.
yeah, give it a try and see what happens.
Okay, I will try to do.
All right.
Only thank you very much. So many thanks.
All right, no problem. Let me know if you have trouble. We can go back on over it again. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.